Welcome, Lost in Translation again. We're here on location in Yafo, and today we're going to talk about a special disciple. It was a female disciple, and again with me is Dr. Baruch Korman. But what's so special about this person? I'm going to call her Dorcas. You have another name for her?
Her Hebrew name was Tzviya, like you had mentioned, a gazelle.
Right.
But what's so special about her is that she was a woman that believed and she demonstrated her faith. And I think that's very precious and very meaningful to God. You know, we believe, we have faith, but are we living out that faith?
Right.
Is that faith really dictating the things that we do, the decisions that we make, the words that we speak? So for this woman, her faith was alive and active.
But we really know a lot about this person, Tabitha, or Dorcas, because she was really well known in the city of Yafo. She dealt with the widows and the poor and the needy, and people came to her for a type of clothing to maybe, you know, if they were the poor people that just needed help. And she really served them, didn't she?
She did. She served the poor. And I think we see from that she really had the heart of God.
Right.
Because in the scripture we see that there's a few different words for poverty, for those who are really poor in a meager, desperate situation. And these are the ones that she was ministering to.
Nice. So how can we start this off? Because this really has to do with a really faithful man, Peter, and how he gets drawn into this.
Well, where it begins is that she was a faithful woman, but she died. She
Right.
became sick and she died. And this was very surprising. I think we can conclude from that she probably wasn't an elderly woman at that time. And we see that even though she was sick and died, what did they do? They didn't just accept it, but they sent, because Peter, they knew, was not far away. He was in a city called today Lod. And they sent messengers in order to invite him to come. And Peter responded. There's a very important word in the biblical text, which means to get up. And whenever that word appears, it's to get up for the purpose of God.
Wow.
And that's what he did. He
What
got
is
up.
that? What is that word?
Well, in Hebrew, it's the word kum.
Kum?
It
Okay.
just simply means to get up with a purpose, and that purpose is to serve and obey God.
So it's very abrupt.
It is. It's a strong word that demands action,
Okay.
the actions of God.
Wow.
So he answered that call, he got up, and he came here to Yafo. So we're only talking about perhaps something around 10 to 15 miles away. Peter traveled to the city where we are. Of course, we know that Yafo, we're right by the
Wow.
Mediterranean.
Beautiful.
Beautiful place, a place where God has used in the past. We've had some other teachings from this place called Yafo. He came here, and what did he do? He put all the people out, all those widows, all those who were crying. Why? Well, they were weeping over death. But the ministry of our Messiah is to give us life. And so he sent all of those people who were crying
Out of that room?
out of the room, and he spoke into her. And I think it's so important that he spoke a word, a proclamation that basically is, get up. And this is what she did. She opened up her eyes. I think that's a very significant point, because God does miracles to open up our eyes,
Yes.
to give us an understanding of his revelation, his truth, so that we can apply it to our life. So we see that he did that. He called after that the saints and the other widows together, and he presented her alive. That which had died, through the proclamation of our Messiah, there was life.
Now, something I see that God does often in the Bible, when Jesus did his miracles, there's one common theme, and I won't put you on the spot, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. It's to glorify him. Was this the same situation?
Every miracle, everything that a servant does should be to glorify his master,
Oh, yeah.
glorify the Lord, glorify our God.
This wasn't, so this wasn't to make Tabitha, because when I read this morning study, Peter even said, hey, I know she's in a better place. She's in paradise. Why would I want to bring her back? You know, I think he thought that a little bit. I don't know why they talked about it, but I don't know if the scripture says that. But
I don't
one
think
of
the scripture
one of the
says that.
commentaries
Okay.
I was reading about it, that Peter might have thought that. Why bring her back? She's in a better place. But it came down to glorify God.
Well, as I said, that's not in the scripture, but I want to tell you something. If I should die, just leave me
Let
there.
you go?
I don't want to be brought back. I want to.
Hey, we need you to teach us for a while. Don't think about going anywhere. Anyway, this thing about glorifying God, we need to do that every day, don't we?
And notice what happens. Because of this miracle, the news of Messiah spread throughout all of that city and in that region.
Yeah, it caused Peter to stay here for a while.
Peter did stay here many days thereafter, and probably he stayed here in order to share, to teach, to disciple those who were coming to faith.
Wow.
So God used this death, a bad thing we would think, he used it for a good thing, to bring more people to himself. So whatever tragedy, hardships, unfortunate things that we experience, realize that our God, he can turn them into something good.
You know, it's a wonderful thing to come here to the Holy Land and to this place, Yafo, and see the history behind it. And it's all real. There's no made up stories. You can walk down there a little ways and there's some Greek mythology here and there about Odessa and this and that. Fake gods, fake everything. The only real thing, solid thing we have here is what God did and how he used Jonah, how he used Peter and Simon and all these men that were here, Tabitha, to make a point. And that was to show people how real he is.
He is the God of life. He gives life, and life, true life, is only found through him.
Wow. Well, it's been a pleasure doing these videos, and thanks for joining us here at Lost in Translation in the Holy Land. What a wonderful place, and we'll see you on the next video.